What's up, guys? Just wanted to do a video over my Super Famicom games, and so here you go. Alright guys, just want to do the Super Famicom my collection video, like I said before. And so we're just gonna start down, and I don't have much of them. And so the first one is Joe and Mac. I recommend getting the Japanese version, since it's probably like it's probably, I'll say, $10 to $15 less. You can find it cheap. It's really cheap in Japanese, and you don't really have to worry about the words or everything. Everything is really playable with the Japanese one. I think this one was called Lucky something. Lucky, I don't remember the name, but it's Lucky something, like Lucky Throw or something. I don't remember the name of it. But this is a baseball game. It's pretty cool. It does have some Japanese in it, and I kind of wiggle myself around it, but it's not bad. This one's the little monkey, which I forgot his name as well. There's a Game Boy game for it too, and Game Boy Color, I think it was, or Game Boy, it's the regular one. Really cheap, like $5. Pretty fun game. This game is gonna cost you a little bit, around $32. Gundam Endless Duel. Really cool game, really good fighting game for you Gundams fans out there like me. You won't be able to find it in the Super Nintendo. It was never released. Magical Adventure, I think this is the first one, if I remember correctly. Use your platform game, your regular platform games. Then we have a classic for the Hudson Soft. What was his name? Shoot, I forgot the name of this character. The game. It is released in the Super Nintendo. I think all three of them. I think it is. But if you wanna get them for the Super Famicom, because they're way cheaper, easier to find, and a lot of fun. This is Mickey Mouse Magic Adventure, I think it was, or something like that, like some weird name like that. This was also released for the Super Nintendo, but cheaper to get for the Super Famicom. So that's what I usually do. If a game is cheaper for the Super Famicom and I can play it without having to worry about the language barrier or whatever, I usually buy it for the cheaper price. Then we have Ranma, fighting game. I don't know if many people in America, United States, saw the anime or whatever. Then we have a Sailor Moon game. There's a beat 'em up game. It's alright. Bomberman, Mega Man's Soccer. So here's Rocket Man in Japan. This game goes for the Super Nintendo. I don't know now, but it used to go for like $30. And so I bought the Japanese version, which is $10, I believe. Way cheaper. And you don't really have to worry about the words, it's just soccer. So it's an okay game as well. Bomberman 3. If I remember correctly, they did make Bomberman 3 for the Super Nintendo, if I believe correctly. After that, there is 4 and 5, which never got released for the Super Nintendo. So I bought this one because it's cheaper than the Super Nintendo one. Really fun game, awesome game. Technomon Blade, never released here in America. It's a it's weird because it's kind of like a shoot 'em up with fighting. It's really interesting for any fans of the Technoman series, which I doubt that there is many here in America, at least. Then we have Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension, really cool fighting game. A lot of cool characters. This is probably the last one that came out in the Super Nintendo. Never released in America. Then we have Kirby Dreamland 3, which if you want to get it for the Super Nintendo is gonna cost you a lot of money. and if you buy this one, you'll get it for $10 or so. A lot of people are gonna hate me making this video because probably gonna make the market go up on the games, but who cares? Anyways, the same deal with the Super Mario Kart. The Mario Karts for Super Nintendo is getting up in value, so I recommend you getting the Super Famicom Mario Kart. The only thing is that the names of the characters, I think, in the Japanese, and the main title is in Japanese, so you just have to look through there. Another Dragon Ball Z fighting game. I'm not sure I don't think these Dragon Ball Z games ever got released in the Super Nintendo. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but so it's 3 of them. He goes, this is the first one, the other one was the second one, and this is the third one. All really cool fighting games. Kind of hard to get used to the controllers, but the second one, the third one are the best ones. If you want to skip the first one, I recommend it. A lot of people like to sell all the 3 of them for like $15, so you should go ahead and buy that. This is the Pawn, I think, something like that. Rainbow something. It's a shoot 'em up, or shoot 'em up, and you just shoot little things and you collect bells and whatnot. And lastly, we have a few more Radamat and 1/2 games, fighting games, both of them. And so yeah, that's my Super Famicom games. Like I say, I usually buy them because I used to watch the anime, or I used to play the games when I was little in an emulator, and so I have that nostalgia factor on it, as well as because you can buy the Japanese versions of Super Nintendo games for a lot cheaper. That's why I buy Super Famicoms. And if anybody has a question on how to convert your Super Nintendo to be able to play the Famicom games, leave me a message. I'll probably do a video if you want. It's really simple. You just take suppliers and knowing what you have to cut off. Other than that was my video. Take it easy and stay tuned for more videos. Peace, people.